Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here. So there's one last thing I want to do before wrapping up the top hated series of videos, and that is do some quickfire redos of my top 10 hated synchros and spell cards, because there were a couple of synchros and spells that I completely forgot about and was supposed to put on both those lists. So I'm just gonna do that before wrapping this up for good. And no, I am not doing a top hated link video, because like there's hardly any links that I hate, so please stop asking. So we'll go over the synchros first, starting with number 10, Dragoonity Knight Trident. Now I hate this card because a certain someone once used it to send all 3 copies of Rainbow Neos to the graveyard. Something which I have still not forgiven the perpetrator for. Yeah, that was just horrible. And apparently it was done as an act of revenge for a time where I used Rainbow Neos' third effect to spin the graveyard away and then attack over Cyberdark Dragon. But like, that's nothing though. Like, I only did that because it was the only way I could overcome Cyberdark Dragon, like, and win the duel right there and then as an added bonus. Like, but I swear that certain someone only did what he did just to spite me. Like, he has something against Rainbow Neos. Like, that's what it feels like anyway. Like, doing that basically killed my deck, or at least it made 2 out of 3 Neos fusions basically dead cards. Trident is just horrible. I mean, it was summoned off God Dragon Argopane though at the time. Like, now of course the only way to summon it is within its own archetype, but like, even so, it's just not difficult to summon, and like, it's not that hard to do the effect. Yeah, I hate it for what it did to Rainbow Neos, and like I said, I've not forgiven the opponent for doing that. Then number 9 is Naturia Beast, so I did bump it up a bit. By the way, if you want more detailed explanations, I'll link the original videos. Yeah, number 8 is Legendary 6 Samurai Shen, and number 7 is FA Dawn Dragster, which is a more generic version of Legendary 6 Samurai Shen. Yeah, I hate that there's a generic Dark Bribe on legs in the game. Like, it's annoying in FAs, which is a deck that I hate a lot. It has too many lockdown plays, like especially with Hang On Mac and Whip Crosser. But yeah, this is the most annoying card in the archetype, and I hate that it can be played outside of FAs. I mean, it has to reduce its level by 2 to do it though, so like, outside of FAs it can only do the effect up to 3 times, but it doesn't matter because the game's usually over before that happens. And in its own archetype it can just keep increasing its level, therefore adding more negates. Seriously, fuck dark bribes on legs. Seriously. They're just so annoying and unfair, unhealthy and bad for the game. Fuck 'em. But other than that, the list is still the same, from 6 to 1. So number 6 is still Cosmic Blazer Dragon. Number 5, Shooting Quasar Dragon. Number 4, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Number 3, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Number 2, Borrelode Savage Dragon. And number 1, my most hated synchro, is Baron de Fleur. Now I'm going to go over the hated spells. So some have been bumped down a bit. So now, at number 10, we have Book of Life. It's cheap shot banish card and gets back any zombie monster. Excuse me. Come on. Number 9, Mischief of the Time Goddess. 'Cause, like, even though it can only be played in Valkyries, I hate cards that skip my turn, and it makes Valkyries an OTK deck. Fuck Valkyries. Number 8 is Invocation, because fuck Invokes, like another cheap shot banish card. It's no better than Book of Life, just banishing monsters from my graveyard just for their fusion purposes. To number 7. I said number 7. Hidden Temples of Necro Valley, because it's a card that shuts down special summons, well, except for Gravekeeper's monsters, and I hate cards that shut down special summons. Just don't think they should be allowed in the game either. Number 6. If it'll hurry up and load. Necro Valley, because it turns off the graveyard, and I don't like being denied my graveyard in any way, shape or form. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that was 6. Yeah, number 5, Magician's Right Hand, because like spell heavy decks also lose to it, and I hate that. I don't like being locked out of my spell. And at number 4 now is Creature Swap. Now, I ranted about this card a few times already, that it's surprising that it didn't make the list when it should have done, but yeah, here it is. I hate it in Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon decks, and I hate it in Water Control. Like, otherwise, outside those decks, it's not as annoying, but still pretty annoying nonetheless. But yeah, it's basically a cheap win card in like a Chaos Max. Because, like I said before, although Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon is an annoyingly difficult ritual monster to deal with, like on its own, it's not the problem. But when combined with Creature Swap, then there's a problem. I'm sorry, but putting an incantation monster in defense, Chaos Max in attack, then playing Creature Swap, giving the opponent a defense mode attack position monster and attacking for game is a cheap, dirty, dishonourable and disrespectful way to win. It really is. Like it's just so cheap and dirty. Like, it's like, wow, you won't fight my best monster with your best monster, so you have to give me a weak monster to pick on and bully just to take that last cheap shot at my life points, or take a cheap shot at them in one go. Like, where's the honour in that? Like, and yeah, it's also annoying in water control as well. Just giving me amoeba, like, and as I said, I fucking hate generic burn cards. Like, using generic burn cards to win is also a cheap, dirty way to win duels, like, especially late game. Like, where's the honour in that as well? Like, why can't you use a real monster to win? Yeah, it's just so infuriating. Again with the damn sirens. Yeah, fuck Creature Swap. Like, how has this card not been banned because of combos like that? Like, burn tactics or OTK tactics. Like I said, it's just cheap and dirty. Number 3, Cerulean Skyfire. Like, I can't believe I missed this one out as well, considering that this, along with Awakening of the Sacred Beasts, made me hate Sacred Beast decks now. Like, it's a Dark Bribe in continuous spell form as long as Hamon's on the field. Like, it just gives the deck a lockdown play. I hate that. Like, this card by itself, well, this card and Hamon by themselves just negate half my deck, while Awakening basically negates the other half. Like, it's so fucking infuriating, and it's just not fun playing against Sacred Beasts anymore because of this card. Like, if it didn't exist, and Awakening didn't exist either, I still wouldn't have a problem with Sacred Beasts, and I'd still like the deck, but now I don't. Skyfire and Awakening just ruined the deck for me. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Then at number 2 is still Dimensional Fissure, and number 1 is still Mystic Mine. I mean, like I said, I've already gone over the reasons why in the original video, and yeah, that's it. Those are my lists of my top 10 hated synchros and hated spells, just redone. I mean, whether or not you agree with me is up to you, of course. If you do, cool, excellent. If you don't, fair enough. Like, that's your opinion. But like I said before, rather than argue about it, let's just agree to disagree and get on with our lives. And yeah, I can finally move on from this genre of top card videos. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. See you guys later. Bye. The Dark Richician.